Hello, friends. Back in March 2003, the FBI arrested a 44-year-old man named Andrew Carlssin. Newspapers reported him as someone incredibly lucky. In the history of the stock market, no one had seen anything like this before. With just $800, he managed to turn it into nearly $350 million in only 2 weeks. Naturally, the FBI grew suspicious, thinking he was running some kind of fraud, possibly insider trading. But Andrew's response shocked everyone. He claimed that he was a time traveler who had come from 250 years in the future. He said he already knew which stocks would rise, and that's why he made such outrageous profits. The FBI didn't believe him, of course. They checked his records, only to find that before December 2002, there was absolutely no trace of Andrew Carlssin anywhere. Even stranger, on April 3rd, when he was supposed to appear in court for his bail hearing, he completely disappeared, never to be seen again. So, was Andrew truly a time traveler? Is traveling through time even possible? Or is it just something out of novels and movies? In today's video, let's explore time travel from a scientific perspective. The idea of a time machine. The phrase time machine became popular after H.G. Wells published his famous novel, The Time Machine, in 1895. The story imagined a device that could take you both into the future and the past. Though it was science fiction, it inspired many philosophers and scientists to think seriously about the concept. Over the years, not only research papers but also countless films have been made around this idea. Movies, in fact, give us different models of how time travel could look. One-way trip to the future, like in Interstellar, where the traveler moves forward but cannot return. Instant jumps, suddenly moving from one moment in time to another. As shown in Back to the Future, time moving around the traveler. Like Hermione's time turner in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Slow reverse travel, seen in Primer 2004, where staying inside a box rewinds time minute by minute. Faster than light travel, like Superman 1979, where moving faster than light itself rewinds time. But the question is, which of these could actually be possible in real life? Traveling into the future, Einstein's theory. Scientifically, we can divide time travel into two types. Moving into the future, going back into the past. Let's begin with the future. Albert Einstein's theory of special relativity introduced the idea of time dilation. Before him, Isaac Newton believed that time was absolute, flowing at the same pace everywhere in the universe. But Einstein challenged this view, showing that time could actually speed up or slow down, depending on speed and gravity. By speed, kinematic dilation, the faster you move, the slower time flows for you relative to someone who is stationary. This was proven in 1971 during the Hafele-Keating experiment using atomic clocks on airplanes. The clocks on the planes fell behind the ones on the ground, confirming Einstein's theory. By gravity, gravitational dilation, the stronger the gravitational pull, the slower time passes. This is why, being near a black hole, time would move extremely slowly. Interstellar demonstrated this accurately, where 1 hour near the black hole equaled 7 years outside. Even today, astronauts in orbit experience tiny amounts of time dilation. For instance, Russian cosmonaut Gennady Padalka, who spent 879 days in space, is slightly younger than people who stayed on Earth by about 0.02 seconds. GPS satellites, too, must constantly adjust for both speed and gravity-based time dilation to remain accurate. Cryosleep and hibernation. Another concept, popular in science fiction, is cryosleep, freezing the body so that metabolism slows and aging nearly stops. While this is not real time travel, it mimics the effect. NASA is already experimenting with stasis chambers, where astronauts could be put into a deep, cooled sleep for weeks. If perfected, it might help with long-duration space travel in the future. Can we travel into the past? Now comes the harder question, traveling backward in time. Einstein's theories don't rule it out entirely. The concept of wormholes, shortcuts in space-time, might allow it. Nobel-winning physicist Kip Thorne has suggested that tiny wormholes constantly appear and vanish at the quantum level. If we could somehow expand one using exotic negative energy, it could serve as a time tunnel. But even if possible, traveling to the past creates logical problems, known as paradoxes. Grandfather paradox. If you went back and prevented your grandfather from living, how would you exist to do it in the first place? Predestination paradox. Whatever you do in the past ends up causing the present you already know. In other words, you can't change destiny. Because of these contradictions, Most scientists believe traveling into the past may never be possible. The truth about Andrew Carlssin. Finally, let's return to Andrew Carlssin's incredible story. The reality is, it was never true. The story first appeared in a satirical tabloid called Weekly World News. Later, Yahoo News and a few other outlets picked it up without proper verification, and many people believed it, but it was pure fabrication, a hoax. Conclusion. So to sum it all up, traveling into the future is scientifically possible through high speeds and strong gravity. Traveling into the past is still theoretical and riddled with paradoxes. And Andrew Carlssin, just a clever piece of fake news. Time travel, in one sense, already exists today, even if just by fractions of a second. As technology advances, the idea of moving far into the future may no longer remain science fiction.